The leaves have turned and fallen to the ground without a word, without a single sound. I kept the winter buried in my chest, a hidden map, a heart that couldn't rest. I watched you walk through gardens in the sun, while my own spring had only just begun. The tea grew cold, the shadows grew so tall. Against the faded paper on the wall, there was a sentence trembling on my lips, like silver water as it slowly drips. But the air was heavy and the timing wrong, so I hummed the melody of a ghost of a song. Oh, the season I never said it stays so green, the most beautiful time that you have never seen, a secret summer, a frozen field of blue, a private weather that I shared with you. It doesn't fade, it doesn't drift away, it lives forever in the center of the day. Maybe the silence was a gift of grace to keep the lines upon your lovely face. Some flowers bloom within the dark of night and never need the witness of the light. Oh, the season I never said it stays so green, the most beautiful time that you have never seen, a secret summer, a frozen field of blue, a private weather that I shared with you. It doesn't fade, it doesn't drift away, it lives forever in the center of the day. The unspoken time, the season I kept while the world slept quietly. The sky is dressed in a shade of pearl, as the morning colors start to curl. Fresh white linen on the wooden chair, the scent of lavender in the air. I touch the fabric cool and light, a soft surrender to the gray and white. Outside the world is a blurred design, where the silver droplets fall in line. But here inside it's a steady heart, where the rush of time is a world apart, wrapped in the texture of a quiet day, watching the shadows wash away. Oh, linen and rain, a gentle embrace, falling slowly across this empty space, a clean refrain. Underneath the heavy weeping sky, safe and still in the velvet glow, in the only rhythm I need to know. Let the water fall, let the threads intertwine, a moment of peace purely divine. No need to hurry, no need to speak, in the sanctuary that we seek. Oh, linen and rain, a gentle embrace, falling slowly across this empty space, a clean refrain. Underneath the heavy weeping sky, safe and still in the velvet glow, in the only rhythm I need to know. Linen and rain, washing the world, staying here, so quiet. The sun has slipped behind the pine, leaving a fading golden line across the cushion on the floor, beside the heavy wooden door. A ghost of amber, soft and deep, where the afternoon secrets sleep. I touch the glass, it's turning cold, but here the light still has a hold. The scent of tea, a book half read, the things we thought but never said, a lingering touch of a summer day, before the shadows turn to gray. Oh, the warmth left by the window tonight, a silver memory of the morning light. It doesn't leave, it doesn't go, in the only rhythm that I know, soft as a whisper, steady and true, holding the space that belonged to you. Time is a traveler, moving so fast, but some things are meant to forever last. Like the glow on the wood and the dust in the air, I still feel the ghost of your presence there. Oh, the warmth left by the window tonight, a silver memory of the morning light. It doesn't leave, it doesn't go, in the only rhythm that I know, soft as a whisper, steady and true, holding the space that belonged to you. Warmth on the glass, fading so slow. Stay a while in the indigo. Silver fingers touch the vine, in a world that's yours and mine. The moon is caught in a purple haze, lost in the rhythm of the dreaming days. Hanging low, the blossoms weep, where the weary shadows go to sleep. Lavender clusters, heavy and sweet, brushing the grass beneath my feet. A velvet curtain, a scented wall, watching the midnight starlight fall. No need to speak, no need to try. Underneath the deep and indigo sky, oh, midnight wisteria, swaying so slow in the velvet light, in the indigo glow. A floral ghost in the cool of the air, with a silent grace beyond compare. Hold the moment, hold the breath, in a peace that's deeper than life or death. is a fragrance, time is a ghost. The things in the world that we love the most are the ones that bloom when the light is gone. In the quiet space before the dawn, oh, midnight wisteria swaying so slow in the velvet light, in the indigo glow, a floral ghost in the cool of the air, with a silent grace beyond compare. Hold the moment, hold the breath, in a peace that's deeper than life or death. Wisteria in the deep of the night, swaying, falling. The clock is ticking soft and slow in the only world I need to know. Golden rivers on the wooden floor, quietly creeping from the open door. Dust motes drifting in a lazy line. In this sanctuary, yours and mine. I rest my head against the chair, feeling the warmth within the air. Cup of tea, a silent thought, in the peace that the afternoon brought. The shadows stretch, the colors blend in a daydream that has no end. Oh, the afternoon where the light pools deep, where all the restless worries go to sleep. A golden pond in a quiet room, chasing away the winter and the gloom. Whispering soft to the heart within, where the silence ends and the peace begins. Time is a ripple on a sunlit lake, a gentle breath we finally take. Let the amber glow hold the space with a steady hand and a silent grace. Oh, the afternoon where the light pools deep, where all the restless worries go to sleep. A golden pond in a quiet room, chasing away the winter and the gloom. whispering soft to the heart within, where the silence ends and the peace begins. Light pooling, golden, so golden. Stay a while in the afternoon glow. A blue haze curling in the air, like a ghost without a care. Shadows dancing on the wall, watching the midnight starlight fall. It's a blur of gray and indigo in the only rhythm that I know. The world is wrapped in a velvet glove, soft as a memory, deep as love. Touching the skin, a gentle brush. Within the center of the hush, every breath is a silver thread, following the words we never said. Oh, smoke and velvet, weaving through the night, hiding the edges of the morning light. A fabric of dreams, a cloud of grace, falling slowly across this empty space. Whispering low, a rhythmic sigh, underneath the deep and hollow sky. Time is a vapor, time is a touch. The things that we don't need so much are the ones that shine when the lights are dim, floating on the edge of a midnight hymn. Smoke and velvet, weaving through the night, hiding the edges of the morning light. A fabric of dreams, a cloud of grace, falling slowly across this empty space. Whispering low, a rhythmic sigh, underneath the deep and hollow sky. Smoke and velvet, curls of blue, staying here with you. Deep in the green, where the shadows play, hiding from the rush of the passing day. A wooden table, a spinning black disc, taking a beautiful melodic risk. The needle finds the narrow line under the branches of the ancient pine. The music breathes with the whispering wind. Where does the song end? Where does the wood begin? A crackle and pop like a fire at night, softly glowing in the emerald light. It's a tiny voice in a giant space, singing of time and an older grace. Oh, a small record in the forest, turning slow in the only rhythm that the ancient trees know. A human heart and a wooden soul, making the broken pieces feel whole. Spinning the green into silver sound in the quietest sanctuary to be found. Listen to the echo through the cedar and oak, a secret language that the afternoon spoke. No need to hurry, the world is outside. Here in the forest, the music can hide. Oh, a small record in the forest, turning slow in the only rhythm that the ancient trees know. A human heart and a wooden soul, making the broken pieces feel whole. Spinning the green into silver sound in the quietest sanctuary to be found. Spinning in the emerald light, just a small record playing into the night. The world is waking, but the room is still. A pale light creeping up the windowsill. The coffee cooling in a porcelain cup before the heavy city rushes up. Quiet breath against the frosted pane, washing away the shadows of the rain. A touch of gold upon the wooden floor. A gentle ghost is standing by the dust is sleeping in the quiet air. I find a moment of a lifetime there. It's not the blazing of the summer sun, but just a whisper that the day's begun. Oh, pale amber morning, holding back the dawn, before the magic of the night is gone. A soft beginning in a fragile glow, the sweetest rhythm that I'll ever know, wrapped in the silence of a silver trace, falling slowly on this empty space. Let the clock forget to turn the hour, like the slow blooming of a winter flower. No need to hurry, let the colors blend in a quiet daylight that will never end. Oh, pale amber morning, holding back the dawn, before the magic of the night is gone. A soft beginning in a fragile glow, the sweetest rhythm that I'll ever know, wrapped in the silence of a silver trace, falling slowly on this empty space. Amber light, so pale, so slow, morning comes, whispering low. The sun is dipping low behind the hill. The purple sky is standing very still. A sudden breeze begins to wake the trees and carries white ribbons upon the knees. The scent of honey, heavy in the air, like a silent prayer, floating everywhere. I watch the blossoms shiver in the light before they turn to ghosts within the night. They fall like slow motion snow on the grass, watching the heavy golden hours pass. A velvet carpet for the weary feet, where the earth and the heavens finally meet. Oh, acacia petals at dusk, drifting so slow, and the only rhythm that I need to know, a a summer snowfall, a fragrant sigh underneath the indigo span of the sky, whispering secrets to the fading day as the rushing world begins to melt away. Nothing is heavy, nothing is wrong, just the pale remains of a vintage song. Let the white stars land upon my hand in this quiet corner of the wooded land. Oh, acacia petals at dusk, drifting so slow in the only rhythm that I need to know. A summer snowfall, a fragrant sigh underneath the indigo span of the sky, whispering secrets to the fading day as the rushing world begins to melt away. Acacia in the dusk, falling soft like a dream into the night. The city vanished in a veil of white, swallowing the edges of the morning light. We left the noise and the rushing street with nothing but the rhythm of our feet. A world reduced to you and me inside a quiet silver sea. The buildings faded into ghostly shapes, a hidden path that the mind escapes. I couldn't see the road ahead, but I followed the words you never said. The damp air kissed my heavy coat, a silent song caught in my throat. Oh, the fog we walk through, deep and slow, hiding everything we used to know. A secret blanket falling from the sky, where time forgot to pass us by. behind. The mist will lift, the sun will rise, and bring the colors back to our eyes. But I will keep this shade of gray when the memory of the light begins to fade away. Oh, the fog we walk through, deep and slow, hiding everything we used to know. A secret blanket falling from the sky, where time forgot to pass us by, wrapped in the mist, safe and blind, leaving the heavy world behind, walking on into the white, step by step, out of sight. There's dust on the keys I used to know, the ones you'd press at 10:30 or so, when the neighbors had all given up the night, and we became the only ones with light. The pedal still squeaks on the lower left, that little imperfection we both kept. I sit beside it now and breathe it in, the smell of old wood holding what has been. I don't play it anymore, I just come to sit beside, like visiting a country that no longer lets me inside. Dust on an old piano, soft as anything that time has kept. Every fingerprint, a small memoir of the songs we played and then forgot. Dust on an old piano tells the truth that memory won't say. We were here, we touched these very keys, then we slowly, quietly walked away. Candle on the fallboard left a ring, a perfect circle from that night in spring, when you played something you had never named, and I just listened, glad that I had stayed. Your left hand and your right hand barely matched, but something in the almost made it catch. like a sentence that trails off before the end and means far more than finished ever can. I could wipe the dust away, restore it to the shine, but then it would be only wood, and none of it would still be mine. Dust on an old piano, soft as anything that time has kept. Every fingerprint a small memoir of the songs we played and then forgot. Dust on an old piano tells the truth that memory won't say. We were here, we touched these very keys, then we slowly, quietly walked away. Maybe I should play something, even just the opening bars of that sadie piece you loved so much, that always felt like falling stars. Maybe silence is its own kind of song, the kind that only empty rooms can hold, where the piano keeps its patient dust and everything unsaid grows beautifully old. I lay my hand across the highest keys and feel the cool of ivory beneath. No sound, just pressure, just the weight of touch, the way you held a moment, not too much. The window blue with everything outside, the evening doing nothing left to hide. I leave the dust exactly where it fell. Some things are sacred when they're left to dwell. Dust on an old piano, let it lie, let it lie. We were real, we were here, we were everything for a while. For a while. For a while. There is a side the sun has never kissed, where silence pools in silver and in mist. I found it once by accident at night, when I stopped reaching for the easier light. The city hums its restless underneath, but up here there is nothing left to need. Just the dark that isn't dark at all, just the quiet catching what would fall. And I have been so loud for so long, filling every room with borrowed song. But tonight I let the stillness lead and find it gives me everything I need. Quiet side of the moon, where the world forgets to look. I have written down your name in the margins of this unmarked book. Quiet side of the moon, where the shadows learn to bloom. I have carried all this love so far, to leave it here inside this room. The stars don't ask me anything tonight. They just keep their ancient, patient light. I pour a glass of something warm and slow and watch the curtain breathing with the cold. There was a time I thought that love was loud, that it arrived in thunder and in crowd. But now I think it lives in spaces like the pause between the inhale and the night. And I have chased so many bright things down, through every lit and overcrowded town. But the truest things I've ever known were always waiting here for me alone. Quiet side of the moon, where the world forgets to look. I have written down your name in the margins of this unmarked book. Quiet side of the moon, where the shadows learn to bloom. I have carried all this love so far, to leave it here inside this room. Maybe the moon keeps its dark face turned, not out of shame for what it holds, but because some things are too interior, too sacred and too soft to be controlled. And I am learning that about myself, that the parts I hid were never broken. They were just the quiet side of me, waiting to be chosen, finally chosen. The glass is empty and the hour is deep, the kind of late that doesn't want for sleep. I press my forehead to the window pane and breathe a circle in the cold refrain. The moon is out there being what it is, half revealed and half a private wish. And I am here being what I am, quietly enough at last to understand. Quiet side of the moon, where no one thinks to look, just the dark that holds the light, just the love, just the love, still here, still here. cup is still beside the kitchen sink, half rinsed and leaning like you had to think about whether you were staying or were gone before you made the quiet choice to move on. The coffee maker drips its last few drops into a silence that refuses to stop, and I stand here in yesterday's light, breathing in the only thing you left behind. It's such a small thing to undo a person, just a scent that lingers after all the certain things I've packed and vanished through the door by morning, leaving only coffee, leaving only warming air. The scent of coffee you left behind, still curling soft through every room I find myself inside of, looking for a trace of the ordinary warmth that filled this place. The scent of coffee you left behind, the sweetest kind of bitter on my mind. I could open every window to the cold, but some things you just have to let grow old. I pour myself a cup I didn't want and hold it like a question or a font of something I can almost understand. If I just keep it warming in my hands, the morning light is doing what it does, arriving without asking if it should, and I am here receiving what it brings, the dust, the quiet, and the smaller things. It's such a tender thing how a person leaves a room, how the air remembers long after the perfume of their presence fades into the afternoon, leaving just the coffee, leaving just the bloom of it. The scent of coffee you left behind, still curling soft through every room I find myself inside of, looking for a trace of the ordinary warmth that filled this place. The scent of coffee you left behind, the sweetest kind of bitter on my mind. I could open every window to the cold, but some things you just have to let grow old. They say that scent is memory's closest door, that it opens straight to what we're looking for, without the usual distance of the mind, without the time it takes to rewind. And so I breathe you in one final time, not holding on, just honoring the line between the life we shared inside this room and the one I'm learning now to walk into. By afternoon the scent has nearly gone, the way that every tender thing moves on. I wash the cup and set it on the shelf and make a quiet coffee for myself. I take a sip and let the bitter land, and feel you somewhere loosening from my hand. Not leaving, no, you left this morning early, but releasing slowly, surely, nearly. The scent of coffee you left behind, still here, still warm, still yours, still mine, still, 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 I pour the evening into something clear and watch the light go amber, going near to something I can almost call a word for what this hour does that can't be heard. The ice cubes shift like small unhurried thoughts. The condensation draws what language forgot. And I am at the window with my glass, watching the particular day pass. There is a color dusk makes on the wall that only lasts a minute if at all, and I have learned to stop and let it be, the way it lands so briefly over me. Dusk in a glass, a light that doesn't last. I'm holding all this gold against the blue, the way I used to try to hold on to you. Dusk in a glass, the beautiful that passes, I'll drink it slow and let the evening come and be enough, and be enough, and be enough for someone. The city starts its second kind of life, the neon finding edges in the light, and somewhere in the middle of the two there's this, a woman and a glass, and you, not you exactly, more the shape of what we might have been if we had not stopped short of saying what the dusk says every night. Without a word, without a reason, right? There is a mercy in the fading light that makes the complicated feel alright, that softens every outline into grace and gives the ordinary day a face. Dusk in a glass, the light that doesn't last. I'm holding all this gold against the blue, the way I used to try to hold on to you. Dusk in a glass, the beautiful that passes, I'll drink it slow and let the evening come and be enough, and be enough, and be enough for someone. I used to mourn the ending of the day as if the dark were something to be feared. But dusk has been my teacher all along. It says the going is what makes it dear. So let me be a woman who can hold the light and loss inside the same small glass, who drinks the beauty knowing it will turn and loves it even more because it won't last. The glass is warm now where my hand has been. The dusk has gone to something deep and dim. I pour the last of it and watch the dark arrive the way it always does. Remark, ably gentle, like it doesn't know that it's the thing we spend our whole lives slow preparing for, and yet are never quite ready for. The beautiful, the night. Dusk in a glass, held it, I held it for as long as I could, for as long as I could. There is a harbor no one maps anymore, where the old boats lean against a broken shore. The ropes have gone to rust in softer things, and no one asks what tide the morning brings. The lighthouse still attempts its nightly round, but sweeps across an empty stretch of sound. And I have come here carrying what remains of a voyage that ended without names. Some harbors hold the ships that never left, some waters keep the words we couldn't say, and I have been that vessel at its rest, too tired to depart, too lost to stay. Song of a forgotten harbor, hummed beneath the gray and patient sea. All the anchors dropped in deeper water, all the letters never reaching me. Song of a forgotten harbor, where the coming and the going blur. I have loved the way a port loves leaving, every departure making me unsure. The fishermen who knew these docks by heart have taken their old knowledge and their art to somewhere that the seasons still make sense, where the catch comes in and morning is intense. But I remain among the weathered wood, the peeling paint, the smell of salt and should have gone, they say, before the cold set in, before the harbor forgot what it had been. Some places hold a grief without a name, the kind that settles into stone and stays like barnacles that mark the waterline of every ship that passed through better days. Song of a forgotten harbor, hummed beneath the gray and patient sea. All the anchors dropped in deep of every tide that comes without a reason and leaves without explaining where it's been. And maybe I can learn to be like that, a quiet place that keeps on letting in. The evening finds me sitting on the dock, my feet above the black and breathing dark. The water doesn't ask me what I lost, or why I came back here, or what it cost. It just receives the sky's reflection, all the stars, the clouds, the in-between of soul. And somewhere in the harbor's old refrain, I hear the song of everything that came and went and left me better than it found. This forgotten harbor, my familiar ground. Song of a forgotten harbor, still humming, still waiting. The tide comes in, the tide goes out, and the harbor remembers everything. Everything, everything, everything. I wore the night like something soft and old, a fabric worn to silk from being held, the kind of dark that doesn't ask for much, just the weight of an unhurried touch. The music from the room next door comes through, a melody I almost thought I knew. And I am here between the sleep and wake, turning slowly for no one's sake. There is a reverie that has no name, that comes between the candle and the flame, between the word and what the word becomes, between the lips and all the waiting hums. Satin reverie, falling soft on everything I see. The edges of the room have gone to blur, and I am something quieter than her. Satin reverie, where nothing has to be what it must be. I let the evening drape across my skin, and finally allow the dream begin. The mirror shows a woman half in light, one shoulder warm, one shoulder lost tonight, and she is looking back at me as if she knows the thing I've balanced on this cliff of waking life, and everything beneath the silhouette of all I can't quite reach. But in the satin of this in-between, I am every woman I have been. There is a tenderness that lives in soft in the the texture of the things held aloft, between the conscious and the letting go, in the fabric of the almost known, satin reverie, falling soft on everything I see. The edges of the room have gone to blur, and I am something quieter than her. Satin reverie, where nothing has to be what it must be. I let the evening drape across my skin, and finally allow the dream begin. They talk about the waking as the real, but I have lived inside the unrevealed, the shimmer at the edge of ordinary days, the iridescent underneath the grays. And if the reverie is where I'm most completely something more than just a ghost of who I try to be in harder light, then let me live a little in the night. The music from next door has gone too still. The candle finds its last and smallest will. To burn it flickers twice and then it holds a breath of light before the dark enfolds. And I am satin, I am reverie, I am the space between the you and me. I am the almost and the not quite yet, the softest thing that evening won't forget. Satin reverie, soft and slow, between the knowing and the letting go, between the light and everything below. Still here, still dreaming, still. It comes without announcing, 5 o'clock, that particular slant of amber stock that falls across the floor in long thin lines and makes a holy place of ordinary blinds. The coffee from this morning still half warm, the day has given up its need to perform, and in the hush before the evening meal, the light does something nothing else can feel. There is an hour between the done and dark that asks for nothing back, when even clocks forget to press so hard and shadows learn to stack. Like velvet, like a sigh, like something known before you had the words. 5 o'clock sunlight falling through the Venetian slow, painting golden lines across the table. I've been sitting at alone. 5 o'clock sunlight, the kindest light the day will show. doesn't ask me what I've done or haven't. It just arrives and lets me go. The cat has found the warmest stripe of floor and folded herself into something more than sleeping, more than resting, more than still. The kind of peace that comes when nothing will disturb the particular gold of this. And I have learned to call that kind of bliss not happiness exactly, more the hum of being here before the darkness comes. There is a grace in what the light assumes when it enters unreserved. It doesn't knock, it simply fills the rooms with everything unheard. The dust made visible, the air made clear, the ordinary made dear. 5 o'clock sunlight falling through the Venetian slow, painting golden lines across the table that I've been sitting at alone. 5 o'clock sunlight, the kindest light the day will show. It doesn't ask me what I've done or haven't. It just arrives and lets me go. I have chased the morning for its promise and the midnight for its depth and thrill, but it's always been this unnamed hour that has taught me how to just be still. 5 o'clock forgives the day completely, turns the clutter into something gold, makes a gallery of what I've lived through, makes a story worth the being told. I hold my cup with both hands like a prayer and feel the last warmth rising through the air. The sunlight moves a little further right, already leaning into leaving light, and I am watching it the way you watch a beautiful thing you know you cannot catch, but try to hold inside your memory before the 5 o'clock becomes the free 5 o'clock sunlight. Still here for now, painting everything it touches gold, just this, just now. There is a place the willows keep for rain, where branches trail like thoughts that won't explain themselves to anyone who passes through. They simply lean and green and let things do. what water does when given enough time, what sorrow does when given enough rhyme. I found it on a day I needed shade, and stayed much longer than I had been made. The willows don't distinguish between the grief and the glad. They hum the same soft music for everything I've had and everything I've carried and everything I've lost. They ask for nothing given, they ask for nothing crossed. Where the willows hum in the language under language, where the roots reach down to something old and true. I have brought my unfinished and my undone, and the willows hum it into something I can move through. Where the willows hum, I am finally no one, just a woman in the green, and the green receiving me. The light comes filtered soft and tessellate through curtains made of branch and early late. Afternoon, that hour without a name that feels like neither losing nor a claim. A heron passes slowly overhead, as if it too has somewhere soft instead of anywhere particular to be. And I am learning that from it and the tree. The willows don't remember the names of those who came. They hold the space regardless, they hum it just the same. A sound below the hearing, a frequency of green, the oldest kind of comfort the world has ever seen. Where the willows hum in the language under language, where the roots reach down to something old and true. I have brought my unfinished and my undone, and the willows hum it into something I can move through. Where the willows hum, I am finally no one, just a woman in the green, and the green receiving me. I think that I have spent so many years trying to be legible to others, but the willows read a different kind of text written in the water and the weather, and they translate me into what I am beneath the names and stories I have carried. Just a living thing that needs the green, just a heart that is not done, not buried. The evening comes in through the willow screen, in shades of rose and gray and in between. I have not solved a single thing today, and and yet I feel the lighter for my stay. The branches brush my shoulder as I rise, a benediction under open skies, and somewhere in the hum I think I hear the sound of being known without the fear. Where the willows hum low and long, a sound below the sound, below the song still